Hey guys, Tom here doing a knife review for you guys. It's been a little while and just had some time. Just decided I'd do a knife review. And this is an amazing knife I've been carrying along with my EDC rotation that I've been doing for the last month of February. So I'm going to be doing a EDC update video along with this. So if you're interested, go check it out. It'll be posted probably right after this. I'll do this first and then I'll post that other video. So go check that out. So this is a Victorinox Soldier. This is an outstanding knife. It's really functional. It's a multi-tool and it's a really well built knife for EDC and for camping, backpacking, everything. Not even a backup. Use this as a primary, and maybe have a fixed blade with you as well if you're going camping or whatever. Use this as your in-camp knife, and you use your larger knife for heavier chores. But this knife can handle quite a bit. It's quite amazing. So I'm just going to get a tape measure. So the knife itself is 4.5 inches long, and for a Swiss Army knife it is almost 3/4 of an inch thick, which isn't too bad. It does have a little bit of weight to it, but it's not terrible. It's probably 5 ounces or so in the ballpark, which is very reasonable for a Swiss Army knife considering how much metal there is in here. So we'll get off to the what tools this knife has. So first, what's obvious is obviously most Swiss Army knives have a little lanyard loop or keychain loop, and on the back portion we have a Phillips head screwdriver. We have your all punch, which I always find that these are really hard to get out of any Swiss Army knife, and this one is very difficult to get out, so that's actually a small hit on the knife itself. And I always find that these are really hard to get out, and there's a lot of spring tension behind these ones. You can hear that snap, that healthy snap. So I'm going to get to the blade last. You guys already saw it at the beginning there. You have your Phillips head screwdriver and your bottle opener, combined with your little wire stripper, which I don't really know how that would strip a wire, but I've never used it and tried it. Most people don't need to strip wires when they're out in the country or camping. Nice feature about this is because this is dubbed the Soldier model, the Phillips head is a little bit more beefier than normal, and I believe it's used so you can pry with it. And one of the reasons why that is kind of obvious is it actually has a lock, a liner lock for it. So you can use it as a heavier duty prying tool, so you don't have to use your blade. It just covers the back end there. You just push it out of the way, double snap, and it closes shut. Now on this side you have your can opener and your precision, kind of more precision head, flat head, smaller. This does not lock. I've heard that the can openers on these work very well. Never actually tried it. I've used folding knives to open cans, and they work just as well, so I imagine that would be just as easy. Now on this particular model we have a nice saw, and what's nice about it is you see it comes out, the handle, it's on a different angle, right? So that allows, so when you're sawing, you're pushing downward pressure on the saw. I've used the saw, I've tried it, it works very well. It's very sharp. It's really well cut out here. You can see the precision cutting. So Swiss Army did a really great job, or Victorinox, sorry, did a really great job on doing that saw. Very sharp. You would not want to get cut by that thing. And last but not least is this outstanding blade. It's about probably 3¼ inch blade. Just almost 3½ inch cutting, 3¼ cutting surface. And obviously you can see the thumb hole for deployment, which works very well. And it is serrated, but on the tip and not at the belly, the back end. And you can see it's chisel ground. This the way it's cut, look, like you can see those serrations. It's almost like a bread knife, right, where you have the scallops and all the way down, and it cuts extremely, extremely well, and they go right to the tip. You know, you don't have a point, but because the blade is so narrow, it does puncture very well. This thing cuts like crazy. It's just a really, really phenomenal cutter. And it stays sharp for a really long time, especially when cutting cardboard. You're taking those serrated teeth really help in maintaining the edge, or keeping somewhat of a good cutting edge. And it just a couple of quick passes on the strop, and yes, you can strop serrations, people. You know, and it really, I can notice right away. Just the 2 passes that I did, it's really, really sharp. A lot sharper than it just was. It just bites like crazy. So really, really great job by Victorinox on this blade. Stainless steel, of course. You know, this thing will never rust on you as long as you take good care of it and don't keep it wet. So I'd imagine any steel will rust over time, with the exception of maybe H1 or Benchmade's H2O kind of model. They're Griptilian. But blade does feature a liner lock, so it is very sturdy. It does have a little bit of play, but it's not, you know, designed to have zero play. It's the way it is. Slip joint with a liner lock, you're going to have that little bit of back and forth play, but no side to side play. It's rock solid that way. Now the neat thing about this knife, and it's kind of neat, it's kind of not, I don't know. It's kind of silly how they designed it, but I'm sure it has something to do with, you know, the inner workings of the knife. Now the liner is actually kind of a left-handed liner. You know, you can push it over with your left hand. So if you're a righty, you know, you need to do it backwards, which kind of makes it difficult. But the way the blade is ground, it's actually for cutting, so it's actually better for a right-handed person, just the way the angle is, because then you're using obviously the bevel on the top and you're slicing this way, whereas if you're left-handed, the bevel's on the bottom, so you kind of, you know, your cut is not going to be as smooth unless you have it at a weird angle, or you're cutting this way, which, you know, you don't normally, you cut away from yourself. So it's kind of backwards on both ends, which is kind of strange, but then again, who knows? It's probably, you know, designed like that for a reason. And, you know, the one-handed opening is very nice. It's got that second stop here where it catches the spring again, or the torsion bar, whatever you want to call it, and then locks shut. Very nice. You know, you can't whip it open and just flick it open like a Spyderco, but it is very smooth, functions very well. The price point on this, I paid about, I think about $40 to $50 for it, and for the money, this is just, you know, a superb EDC knife. I've been carrying this all month as a part of an EDC, and I found myself, you know, absolutely loving this knife. And it's got a really nice handle too. The green portion is, you know, standard plastic, but then the black portion is kind of rubberized, and they design it that way so that it's on the corners, because it's the corners that are going to be digging into your hand, not the sides, right? That's what I never understood about, you know, extremely aggressive G10 and stuff. It's really not when you're gripping a knife really hard, it's really the edges that are going to be catching into your hand. especially when you're cutting, it's going to be pushing into the back of your hand, not onto the sides. That's really more of a prying thing, especially if you have larger hands. That gap from where it's sitting in your hand, it's some people, you're going to have to squeeze really tight for it to fill your hand. But in this case, they rubberize the sides. It really functions well. When your fingers are slightly wet, it does grip. It's very nice. And as a soldier's knife, I believe that these are, I'm not sure if they're standard issue for the military in Europe, in certain countries like in Germany and Switzerland. They do make a German army model with the German logo. I thought that I heard one somewhere down the line that these were standard issue for this, the Swiss military and the German military. And if it is the case, that's pretty neat. It's kind of like a cool thing to have, especially if you're a Swiss Army collector. And just to finish it off, I will do a quick size comparison to a couple other Swiss Army knives, just to give you guys an idea. So this is a Tinker, one of my all-time favorite Swiss Army knives. And no, guys, sorry, this knife does not come with tweezers or toothpick. I wish it did, but it doesn't. It's unfortunate that it doesn't come with at least the tweezers, but you can't win them all. You get such an excellent tool. You could just carry a SAC Classic with you. Here's a SAC Classic. You can see the size of this guy, which I have on my keys. I took the day glow off, some guys might recognize that. And another super popular model is the Cadet. Cadet's a little bit smaller here. I have the nice green one as well as the silver one. One of these days, guys, I'll do an update on my SAC collection too, so look out for that. So superb EDC knife, guys. I really recommend it. Price is really good on it. You really can't go wrong with Swiss Army. They're just a phenomenal knife. I carry one every day. If not this, then I carry my Tinker. I love the look of the Alox knives, but they're too thin for me. I have such a large hand. You see how giant my man hands are, so I prefer a little bit thicker of a knife. So this one's perfect for me, guys. So go check it out, go buy one, go look at it at your local store. If you don't like the color of this, you can get a red one. You can get the Rescue model from the one-handed Trekker. There's a bunch of different variations of this knife. This is just the Soldier based off of the look, the overall look. So, serious knife, guys. I love it. I carry this every day. And it's going to be hard to knock this knife out of my pocket as a pocket multi-tool. So, the only thing I wish it had maybe was a pair of needle nose pliers, but you can't win them all, and that's what a Leatherman Squirt is for. Have that on your keys instead of a SAC Classic. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. Any questions, comments, throw them down below, and go check out the EDC video I'm about to do, post up as well right after this. So enjoy, guys, and take care. Have a good one.